So this one is I don't remember which one it was. Sandeep or Keegan brought this one up.
Yeah. This one's a local one for us here in the Detroit area.
So this basically deals with deepfake crime.
Tonight on The Edge, a local man accused of using AI to create disturbing photos now facing federal charges.
He allegedly made nude images of a woman from another state and then stalked her online. Fox News' Jessica Dupneck has been following this story for quite some time, and she joins us live with the latest. Jess.
Wow. Taryn and Roop, this is a big day for that social media influencer. Her name is Ann Blodgett. She's from Oregon. And when we caught up with her back in March, she was going through just an absolutely awful time. As you guys said, she said that someone was sliding into her DMs and then making pornographic images using AI. So the body was not hers, the positions were not her, but it was her face. And he was allegedly using them to sextort her. Take a look at this picture. This is 36-year-old Josh Stillman. He was arrested by the FBI on Tuesday at his Commerce Township home. He's charged with cyber stalking and interstate threats to extort. It started with those messages that the content creator Ann received. When she didn't respond, she says his intensity and those threats escalated, culminating in sexual assault threats. And then he sent her that cachet.
Well, I'm going to stop right there, but that's really, wow.
And this is, you know, there's a couple commercials right now I think people have seen around where somebody takes a child's face and, you know, does things with AI to make, you know, horrific images out of it, right? So these are things that parents need to start understanding could happen and can happen to their children, right?
Children, adults, you know, anybody, and this is beyond like somebody is in a public eye.
Yeah.
Right? They may be influencers, they could be politicians, they could be doctors, they could be, you know, if they're in a public eye and then, you know, similar thing is done to them.
Yeah.
And yes, they are not guilty of it, but by the time you prove that you're not guilty of it, you know, it's
the old adage where, you know, you send out the news and it's not true, but nobody sees the
and here's the other part. Sorry, I want to add to it. Here's the other part. The people's where they can tolerate or they can fight back these things are nowadays are not to the level what they used to be. People are really fragile. I want to say is like, you know, because they're working in so much pressure and so on. They're fragile, and God forbid they basically, you know, take the ultimate sacrifice. They, you know, and they basically kill themselves.
Yeah.
Because they feel like there's no way out of it at that point. And you know, that's it's a scary side of it. And again, I'm going back to my previous statement. We need organizations that can use, like, you know, they have like ethicals.
It shouldn't be allowed. That's number one.
Well, nothing is allowed, but the criminals doing it.
Well, I know.
Yeah, and you're going to find stuff on the dark web.
I'm actually thinking of a different angle, as in, you know, obviously this is horrible, but what I'm alluding to is that, I don't know if you remember a couple episodes ago where we're talking about, you know, recruiters checking on people. And, you know, he's checking online about this specific person applying for, let's say, an accounting job. And he finds this post that this person did, I don't know, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever. Or next thing you know, there's some idiot posting nudes of the person.
Yeah. And they didn't even know.
Yeah,
they might not even know the background. Yeah. Right.
So that recruiter takes it for granted, doesn't really, you know, check into it.
Yeah.
Just says, okay, yep, you don't want this person because they're, you know, an OnlyFans. And they're really not. They're just somebody took their picture and just put them on there.
If somebody does it, you know, intention, like they're doing it, that's their, you know, they thought of it, that they have their plan, you know, I'm going to do this and then, you know, whatever. That's their personal freedom, right?
Yeah.
But person who didn't want it,
that's
never
what
done
I'm
it.
alluding to.
Yeah, obviously never done it, and they didn't have in their life plan to do that.
Well, once it's out on the internet, right?
Once it's on the internet, there's
and how do you defend yourself against something
and
like
cleaning that, and how many data places it goes, and cleaning that off internet, that is.
So I got a devil's advocate question for you guys. So obviously we're seeing people are misusing this equipment horribly. should the AI companies be liable for this misuse?
You know what? They're gonna bring the freedom of speech in it.
Yeah, but creating
It's not. It's not. But
Yeah,
I
I
mean-
mean,
it's the same way we have PG-13, PG-12, PG. We have those ratings on TV, right?
yeah,
Why not the content
have a rating.
have a rating?
but you're also
The
going to
AI,
get.
the AI level have a rating.
But
Well,
what do we always
actually-
talk about? It's always until the government push back, right?
Well,
so you're
yeah.
going to get lawsuits, and until lawsuits start happening and pushing
Yeah.
So
back against
right now,
these companies.
sorry, right now what I see is government seen these horses first time, and they just let it go in the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The horses are just wild, and they're doing whatever they
Yeah.
want to, and government actually I think is getting to the point where they don't know how to control it.
Well, you know what? Something that I saw on like Patrick David podcast, and I know some of these states are doing this. Is that, for example, for pornography, they actually have. I don't know if it's states or certain websites, but they have it to where you have to do the facial recognition software. You have to put like a photo ID in order for
Yeah.
you to get to see it or to
But
watch
the problem
it.
with this scenario is
And-
though,
and-
you would do that, but then you could also make horrible things with the AI.
Well, what I
right?
mean is it should be verified. You know what
that
I mean?
you did it,
Yeah,
so
like
you could
it's
go
your
after
account,
somebody. Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah.
you know, to counter this because
Yeah.
you know,
We-
this girl obviously doesn't want that.
Yeah.
Who does? Who wants
Does
somebody?
I mean, you know, she has to be in a public eye.
Well,
She's an
and what
influencer.
happens with high school kids, right? You have bullies and people are mean
Yeah,
to people
well,
all the
there's
time.
people-
and,
we
and
covered
now
that in the
you used-
previous, right?
Yeah, you used to be able to go home and not see them when see
Yeah.
people when we were kids, but nowadays somebody could do that in a school and text it out and make it look like somebody was with a teacher or with another student, and you're just like, oh my God! And now this child is scarred for life, basically.
Yeah.
So there needs to be some rails put on this kind of thing.
They need to, and they need to be like to the point where, if somebody does that, there's a one way to deter it. We have I'm gonna say extreme here, they used to have a death penalty to if you kill a person, you get killed kind of thing.
Yeah.
But at this point, if somebody caught doing this, there's severe punishments, and what kind of those punishments may be.
Here's
right?
another problem with this. I love what we're talking about, but what if this person's not in our country?
I was just going to say that. That's the problem with most of these AI apps, because I think we've shared
Yeah.
this in the past. If you look at where those AI apps are, they're not built in the States, because you can,
Yep.
I think I shared one with you guys where it was basically you could
So-
put a face on it and it could be your girlfriend and you could tell it to do whatever.
So here's the thing then.
But that company isn't
When-
based in the U.S., I'll tell you that.
So here's the thing then. There's basically 2 places or 3 places you can post your apps, right?
Sure. Yeah.
One is Apple, one is Google, one is Microsoft. Let's put those 3. There may be a couple other. So let's put those 3. Those 3 places where you are able to put these apps for public. Should those companies then have better?
I mean, they ban apps all the time.
Yeah,
right?
and
so they should have better controls
Should they
on
even
it.
have better way of tracking these apps and or tracking the users of these
I
apps?
but
think-
that's
or-
where the VPN comes in, because you could just put yourself in that country.
Yeah. And again, I think it just comes down to they've shut apps off in the past. They just have to have a little bit more visual, screening on some of the stuff.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's definitely need to be a better control. I mean, technology is great, but I usually what I say is we sacrifice our freedoms and our rights all the time just for convenience,
Yeah. Yep.
right?
Yep.
For instance, cop pulls me over, and they can ask me where you coming, where you going. According to my rights, I don't have to tell them.
Yeah.
Just because I want to be on my way, I will tell them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it just we sacrifice our freedoms on a convenience, and we do that with our phones when we say, hey, tell me my location, take my location.
Yep.
So yeah, but there need to be better mechanisms to counter these.
Yep. No, exactly.